Oh yeah!
Oh yeah! Ba-ba-ba-ba.
The Fight Night trumpets are blaring across your monitors, on your speakers, because we are a little over 30 minutes away from the UFC's return after an entire week off. UFC Vegas 74 going down in a little while from right now. The main event, big one in the flyweight division. Kai Kara France takes on Amir Albazi. Look, there have been much worse fight night cards than this one. There have been much better fight night cards than this one. This one's kind of right smack dab in the middle. But welcome to the People's Pre-Fight Show. I am Mike Heck, and joining me, the baddest stash in MMA media. I'm sure a chair spin is coming with Casey Leiden.
Yeah!
The microphone moved like slightly, but you didn't smash into it. So another victory. How are we doing, sir?
Doing great. Did some mixed martial arts training today already. Got some rounds in, and I'm all showered up. Happy Pride Month. I'm wearing my UFC woke shirt. You know, love how the UFC is supporting wokeness and Pride Month. So I'm there to support it too. But I am doing great, and I'm happy everyone is here to talk fights. This is fun.
Yes. Most of you are probably aware of what the People's Pre-Fight Show is, but if you're new to the game, we're just going to answer your questions until the first fight starts, which is going to be around 35, 40 minutes from right now, one would guess. Apparently, Mariusz Pudzianowski is about to fight at KSW, so if I could see what's happening on the Twitter sphere, we'll let you know. I'm sure that fight is not going to last very long, so... But let's fire up your questions. Yeah. Let's get after this thing.
I've never actually watched Pudzianowski. Yeah. I've never watched it live. I've only seen highlights. I've never actually all right, it's time to sit down and watch a fight. I've never done it yet. I don't know why. He's been like a fighter for like a while now. It's not even like a novelty anymore. Like I feel like he's no more as a fighter than a strongman at this point, right? Or whatever he was before.
Yeah, I mean, he's still like on an island all to himself in such a bizarre way. Like everyone is intrigued by him fighting. Like I would love to see a world where PFL like cross promotes with KSW and we get a Puig versus Francis Ngannou fight. Like that would just be the best. There would just be so much fun. The build would be hilarious. The fight would last like 14 seconds, but it would be just the whole build to it all would be incredible. Have you seen the photos and the videos from inside the arena for this event? It's insanity.
I love Ryzen. I love like big Japanese MMA, but I do want to go see a KSW card because I think they're doing it just as good over there, and I would love to see it over there. Yeah, I think Nick Baldwin is over there. I don't know how he got over there, but he's over there. I saw him tweeting about it and showing some photos, so it looks incredible and stuff. Yeah. Are those guys getting like I don't hear any at least bad rumblings about like those guys not getting paid properly. But it's KSW's got to be making some serious money, right? I mean, like I would assume, and
yeah. I mean, from what I understand, and this is kind of from way back because remember when what's his face? Roberto Soldic was a free agent, right? He was like a 2-division champion. Everybody was taking a shot at him. They offered him, from what I understand, like a ton of money to return. So I knew that if he landed anywhere else, that they offered him even more money, like an absurd amount of money. Mm-hmm. So they got money to spend, and there's like 50,000 people at that card right now. It's like a Castle Stadium type atmosphere, and then.
They do that
when this card starts
year,
for the
right?
UFC. Yeah. And then we're about to watch the UFC card in the Apex with like 80 people.
Yeah.
And it's only people who paid like hundreds of dollars because apparently Tim Elliott's friends and family who he flew out to come to the card with expecting comp tickets, they ain't going to be able to get in there and watch, at least as of right now.
So as far as you know, the UFC, they give comp tickets for Contender Series fighters, right? Because I always see their family in the crowd, right? For Contender Series cards. So Contender Series, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not sure if the Contender Series guys are paying $1,500 a ticket for their moms to watch the fight live, but yeah, that just sucks. I don't know. It just sucks. I hope Dana's at the post presser, and I hope someone asks him about that and what the UFC's policy on fighter comps is. I'll be very interested to know. Yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, it is a bummer. Well, maybe cooler heads prevail. They see the tweet and they're like, no. Here's your tickets. There you go. Maybe we'll see all of the Elliott clan right there watching.
And I hope Mr. Elliott does not get into any trouble because, yeah, it's good on him for saying something public that he might have he could have kept himself and but it's good that's out there. All right, questions.
Let's get after this thing. Here we go. UFC Vegas 74. Thoughts on the Ted Lasso final episode? I dig the writing on that show. Good stuff. Did you watch the final episode of Ted Lasso?
I have only seen the first 2 seasons. I was planning to find time to binge season 3. I haven't watched any of it yet. But I've heard mixed reviews.
You've heard mixed reviews. I have not watched a single episode of it.
Ever?
Oh. It's on Apple TV, right?
Yeah, it's Apple TV, yeah.
Okay, I upgraded, like I finally like splurged and got like the unlimited plan, and part of that is I get Apple TV forever for free, and I've yet to even like set it up.
Oh, Apple TV is great. There's a lot of great.
I'm gonna set it up eventually. I don't know. It just seems like a lot of work when I don't have a ton of time. So, but I will eventually dive in.
Good stuff on Apple TV. If you want to throw your $10 a month for it, for you guys out there, I recommend it. All right. We just talked about the Tim Elliott stuff.
Full Mount KO KSW was legit surreal. Yeah, that was wild. If you haven't seen this, go to MMAfighting.com. You could see it. I've never seen this before, Casey. I've never seen somebody from being mounted actually land a knockout strike off of his back. That was insanity.
Dude, it was a good punch too. It wasn't like he like boom, like went right into it. Like obviously you can't get you're not planted with your legs, but like everything from the waist up looked technically perfect. And the location, I mean, it hit him right on the jaw. I mean, those are big dudes. And like, yeah, I've seen knockouts from guys in guard, but I don't think I've ever seen a straight up knockout, like out cold from someone in mount. So, yeah. 10,000 ways to die in MMA. We just saw 10,001. That was...
That is gonna be at worst a top 5. That is going to be in my top 5 for KO of the year.
You just gotta put, that's one of those, well, because of the stakes and the fighters involved, but just for the rarity of it, that needs to be thrown in there. Yeah, that's for sure. But I think the cool part about it, especially, is like, we've seen so many dang fights, and Dana White used to always say this thing, and it doesn't really work anymore, but he used to say, like, every card has, like, a holy shit moment. Like, what? I've never seen that before. And I don't feel like we've seen enough MMA where that doesn't really happen as much anymore. But it's pretty cool. You just kind of open up your Twitter feed or whatever feed, and then you see something like, wow, I have never seen that before. And it's kind of cool. It's neat.
It's nice when we get surprised like that. Yeah. So it was a very cool moment.
Okay. All right. Hold on, sorry.
I guess a lot of excitement for this card, huh?
Yeah.
We can talk about other stuff. How do we like our martial arts, Casey?
We like them mixed.
It's so good. That intro is incredible for the preview shows. We can talk about other stuff too. I mean, how many Michael Chandler basketball jerseys you think Jen has bought? I mean, one at least for every day of the week.
Yeah.
And I bet a Connor. So I would say 7 Chandlers and 1 Connor jersey.
Yeah.
Just to mix things up a little bit.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just going to buy and just keep sending to him in the mail. Just every day. All right. What we got here? No, I don't like the questions. that question.
Come on, y'all. Where do you rank KKF in the city kickboxing rankings? Huh.
We got Izzy at number 1. He's kind of the king. Well, is Volk considered city kickboxing? I know he's kind of half, so that's why you can't put Volk as number 1. But you know they
if we're counting Volk, I put him at number 1.
you think? Do you think within the camp though? Maybe like within the camp, does it seem like Izzy is kind of like the team captain?
Probably.
So. I think more because he's pretty much his whole career, right? I know his whole MMA career has been with city kickboxing. I'm not sure if his entire kickboxing career has been. But
yeah, I would say Izzy, Volk, just for that exact reason. Is Kai third?
I would say Kai's third. Yeah. Am I forgetting somebody? Am I just? I feel like I'm forgetting.
I mean, Blood Diamond's there.
Oberg. I know they have a lot of talent.
Oberg's there. Hooker.
Oh yeah, Hooker. That's what I was missing. I was missing Hooker.
Brad Riddell.
Okay.
But still, I would probably put Kai above.
Shane, the 45.
Shane Young.
Shane Young, yeah. But I would definitely put KKF number 3. Yeah.
Yeah, he fought for a title, so he's got to be up there.
Yeah.
Dan's a fun fighter, no doubt about it. Dan's top 5, but I think Kai's probably number 3.
Yeah. Here we go.
How close are we on Chimaev versus Usman? I mean, your guess is as good as mine right now.
Is this the fight to make?
It's not the fight to make.
Good. I don't like this fight. Unless Usman is making a commitment to go to 85, and that's what it's like. All right, I'm a middleweight now. Okay, then I can buy in. But as far as like some kind of weird, I don't know. I don't understand this fight. Honestly, I don't understand. And I'm assuming the Usman Chimaev fight will be at 85, not 70, right?
I mean,
yeah.
From what people are saying, it would be Chimaev himself even said it would be at 170. So, which I don't love. I hate that idea. And it's so risky. It's just so risky putting him back at 170. So, I mean, if they do it, obviously I'll watch it and I'll be intrigued by it, but
yeah, we're going to watch it, but yeah.
I mean, and this is why Bilal Muhammad should be like the most nervous man in the world, because if they book this fight, no matter who wins, immediately jumps ahead of him. Chimaev beats Usman, he jumps ahead. Like, Chimaev's getting a title shot if he beats Kamaru Usman. If Kamaru Usman wins, they're probably going to make Bilal fight Usman, or if Colby wins the belt, they'll just give Usman the title shot against Colby and run it back since he's already get 2 wins over him. And then if Conor beats Chandler at 170, Bilal's like 4th on the list. He's in such a weird spot right now. This fight's at 185. I'm more into it because I just feel like Bilal just deserves his title shot at this point. But I don't know. It's just so weird. You have Chimaev and Costa like right there at 185. It's just a fight everybody's in on. Everybody's in on that fight. But instead, we're gonna throw Paulo Costa in there with Ikram Aliskerov, which, I mean, I'm intrigued by the idea of it,
but it doesn't make sense right now. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense right now.
And I don't necessarily believe like Paulo Costa's gonna say, well, I didn't want to fight Rob. I wasn't getting enough money to fight Robert Whittaker, but now I'm getting enough money to fight Ikram Aliskerov. I mean, I know there's talks about changing his deal and re-upping him and re-signing him, but apparently none of that's done. And even Costa was like, nah, they're lying. So I don't know what's going on. If they make this fight, I'll be like, all right, fine, but wouldn't be my first choice. Costa's my first choice. Do it at 185, and then Chimaev gets a title fight.
Yeah, Chimaev Costa makes so much sense, but what do we know?
Who are we? Who
are we? All right. Thank you for your question, though.
Have you tried the Pory Hot Sauce? I have not tried the Pory Hot Sauce. GC has. Go back to that watch party for UFC 281. I believe he I think he just like took shots of it and said he likes it. So cool. I'll take his word for it.
Is it what type? Is it more of like a Tabasco-y type of hot sauce? Do you know, like a vinegary, or is it more of a chili kind of? Do you know?
I think it's just like a regular hot sauce. They have different flavors and different temperature levels, from what I understand. There's one that's like pretty mild. There's one I think there's like a different flavor, and there's one that's like ridiculously spicy.
Okay.
But I haven't tried any. And I'm a hot sauce fan, so I just haven't seen it like at the store or anything.
No, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what kind of distribution it has. Does it want? Do people get it? They just have to order it through his website. Is that how most people get it, or is it like? Does it have like a good distribution network? Like, is it sold at all the Piggly Wigglies down south? I don't know.
It might be at Walmart now.
Walmart? Oh, great. That's cool.
If it's at Walmart, then if I ever see it, I'm gonna buy it. I just haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah. Wish all the success for him. I hope it. Yeah, I would love to see it in a grocery store. All right, tonight's card.
What is the ceiling on Amir Albazi? What do you think? Where would you put his ceiling? I'll start by just saying I'm not sold yet. Tonight could sell me, but you go first. What do you think his ceiling is? Do you think it's a title shot? Do you think this is a guy who fights for a title? Do you think he's a guy who could be a champion, or just not quite there?
In the previous fights I've watched him in the UFC, I go, oh, good win. This guy is a top 10 men's flyweight. I wasn't thinking, oh, he will be fighting for the championship belt in 2 or 3 fights. I don't think that. But that's why the UFC made this fight, basically. We're going to find out. We're going to find out if Albazi is an A-level flyweight rather than a really good flyweight. And right now, I think he's a really good UFC level flyweight who's on a wonderful run, a great record right now, 16-1. What is it? Yeah, 16-1. That's an incredible record, 16-1. He's only 29 years old. They're basically the same age. They're both kind of pretty much in their athletic prime. It's a fight that makes a lot of sense. But to answer your question, Mr. Dean, I think that's why the UFC booked this fight, because we're curious. I'm sure he is curious. I'm sure the entire men's flyweight division is curious how good this Albazi gentleman is. So I can't really answer that for you. But I will say he is a legitimate top 10 flyweight who has earned and deserves this main event spot for a fight night against KKF.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out great for him because if everyone can recall, this is not the original main event for this card. The original main event was Miesha Tate versus Mayra Bueno Silva. Obviously, there was a Tate injury, so that fight has now been pushed back a little bit. Bueno Silva's fighting Holly Holm now in a different main event. I think it's the July 15th card. So this one gets the bump, and I think it's a good opportunity for Amir Albazi. And I think his ceiling's pretty high. I just don't know if he's a top 5 flyweight in the world for a long time ceiling, or if this is a guy who fights for a title. This is the one that's going to give me some answers, because, and I know a lot of this isn't his fault, because he's been matched up with a lot of pretty good dudes. He's been matched up with O'Day and Tim Elliott and Alex Perez and even Brandon Royval, and those fights haven't come to fruition. So whoever the replacement comes and he just goes in and just kind of trucks them and gets wins. But the thing that tears me on this fight being 50-50 is, who is his best win? Who's Amir Albazi's best win? And again, this is not his fault, but who is his best win? Is Malcolm Gordon his best win? Is that his best win? I mean, Francisco Figueiredo, that one has not aged incredibly well. Is Malcolm Gordon the best win?
No, I would go double Z, Zagalas, whatever. I can't remember.
Zalgas with the hair. He's lost 3 in a row. I mean, it's not like a lot of these were splitties that you could argue that he's won, but he's lost 5 out of 6. He's in his one win in that run is against a guy who's not in the UFC anymore. So,
but
is Gordon his best win? I mean, he hasn't shown me enough yet. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
I need to see what he does against higher level competition.
Does this main event booking? I know it wasn't the original main event, but does this booking against KKF make sense? Yeah, I like the fight. I like the fight. Yeah, it's a step up for Amir. It's a step back for Kai. It's his first fight in almost a year.
since the Brandon Moreno fight, a fight that Kai Kara-France looked pretty damn good in until he got kicked in the belly. And this is going to tell us a lot about both guys. I'm when there's fights that the betting community looks at as so close, I tend to lean with experience and not just like, ooh, who has more fights. It's the level of competition. And to me, Kai Kara-France has fought way better competition than Amir Albazi has. And again, not Amir's fault because he's been booked and has accepted fights with really good guys that have beat Kai Kara-France in the past, Brandon Royval being one of them. I just think he's been in there with better guys. So to me, that's the difference maker. I'm leaning towards Kai Kara-France. I don't think this one gets to the cards. And if Amir goes out there and beats Kai Kara-France, then I will officially be sold. I will go on the post-fight show and say, sold, get him in there with either Brandon Royval or give him a title shot if he beats Kai Kara-France tonight.
Yeah, if he wins tonight, no matter how he wins tonight, it's really not. We're not taking a big leap by saying he deserves a title shot. I mean, if you beat KKF, you're top 3 and you're one fight, or you get a title shot next. So this is an incredibly big fight for him, and I think it's just. I mean, obviously a big fight for KKF, but I think it's a good fight for both guys. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if he loses, it's not like he's done.
Nah.
You know what I mean? It's not like they're going to release him or he's going to be a fringe top 15 guy. He's still going to be at worst a top 10 flyweight for a long time, for as long as he's in the UFC.
Yeah,
I think he's that good.
Yeah, and if Kara-France loses too, it's not the end of the world too. I think more if he loses tonight, we'll just go, oh, Amir's really good. We have a new player. That's about it. We're not going to go, oh, KKF sucks. He was overrated. I hope not. I hope that's not what fans say. But I feel like you know what I'm trying to say.
I think Kai's like criminally underrated, if we're being honest. He's just
absolutely.
He's just a weird. He's maybe the weirdest fighter in this whole division because he hasn't fought in so long. It's almost like people forgot about him, and people kind of look at him like he's lost 3 in a row heading into this fight, but he's only lost 1 out of his last 4, and he looked really good in the 3 wins he had before that, including beating Askar Askarov, which is no easy feat. So and he was the first guy to do it, and that fight showed me a lot. And that's another reason why I'm picking Kai is Askar's takedown, his grappling are incredible. And Amir is going to try to put that kind of game plan against Kai too. And it's going to be an interesting fight. I'm leaning Kai Kara-France just because of the experience levels, but I think Amir's got a high ceiling. I just don't know. I think we'll have more answers come post-fight show how high it is.
Yeah. Why was KKF out? I know there was a canceled fight, but was he injured or was he just kind of taking time off to regroup, get his life in order? I mean, I didn't watch all of his interviews, or I did watch interviews. I just don't recall him. There wasn't a big injury, right? It was just more healing.
Yeah, he was supposed to fight. He was supposed to fight Alex Perez at 284 on that Perth card, and then he got hurt. That's why I didn't fight him.
Okay.
So there's seemed like a minor injury. Nothing that, just kept him out an extra 3 months. So looks like he's good to go.
All right. Next question. What do we got here? Answer that question. Sorry. That question. Oh.
Did you guys check out Charles Cowboy Oliveira's sick judo throw knockout? It was brutal. It's Alex Oliveira. Yes. From the Titan FC card. There were a bunch of crazy knockouts on that card. There were a bunch of crazy knockouts. Yeah,
that was a great knockout. Brutal. Oh man, I don't know have you ever been judo thrown like that, a hip toss like that ever, Mike?
No. There are probably very few people in the world who have been hip tossed like that.
Yeah, hip toss like that, and to have your opponent intentionally make sure they come down on you right in your chest or his ribs. It's I mean, I don't know how hard that must have felt, because I can see that happening to someone like me and going, oh my God, that hurts so much. But just to be able to hit the ground like boom, I'm out cold. That's scary. That's scary. So fighting's scary. So yes, fighting. It was a sick judo throw by Mr. Alex Cowboy Oliveira. And yeah, if you just Google it and watch it. It was on Titan, right? It was Titan.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, pretty
Actually,
sure
but I think that
freaking Will Brooks.
Will Brooks.
Will Brooks did it again.
Why is he
He
not
just
in the
keeps
tough?
winning.
Why was he not in the tough house? Can you imagine if he
I
was
don't
in the
know.
tough?
So silly.
That whole show is supposed to be about drama. Put the guy, and he would have been a vet. He would have been on Chandler's team. The guy that beat Chandler twice.
Oh, that's great call.
Yeah,
That's
he
a
beat
great
Chandler
call.
twice. He beat Chandler twice.
Oh, that would have been drama. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I know why the UFC
Bellator.
didn't do it.
Bellator, get him on the phone. Get him as an alternate for the Grand Prix. Do something.
That's smart. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah,
I know their relationship ended kind of messy, but I think get in a room. You never know.
Yeah, you just we got this guy that knocked out Chandler twice, beat him once by decision, and finished him the second time. That's still Will Brooks has like one of those. He has a very weird career.
Yeah. And he got his life together, like almost a little like past his prime, but he's won 6 in a row. Mm-hmm. Would be a cool story. Get him in there.
I don't know if I've told this story before, but I was actually what was it? Who was I doing it? I was in ATT, and I can't remember. I was doing a video on somebody. Who was it? I can't remember. But Will Brooks was there, and he just got announced to take the Chandler fight. And we were talking to Dustin Poirier. And Dustin Poirier, this is before Dustin Poirier was Dustin Poirier. This is when just Dustin Poirier, I think, was still 45er. People were like, oh, he's an exciting fighter, but he wasn't like main event Dustin Poirier yet. But he told me him and Will were like really good training partners. He goes, Will teaches me how to be an athlete. I teach Will how to be a fighter. I thought that was so interesting.
Wow.
I was like,
I love
wow.
that.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, they were like good teammates for a while. I mean, I'm not sure. I think just life got in the way and things happened, but yeah. Hey, Esther.
That's the iconic. Hey, the iconic voice.
The
in the
iconic
house.
voice. All right. This is a bit of a troll question, but I want to answer it anyway.
Is Reed versus Jin Fry the lowest level MMA fight we can possibly get?
No, absolutely not. Jin Fry and Elise Reed are quality fighters, and I don't know why you would say such a mean thing, Mr. Ray Long. Yeah, that's all. It's a good 15 fight. I mean, it's a good strawweight fight.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. Jin Fry, up there in age, one of the best atom weights in years. One of the best American, at least okay, just one of the best American atom weights, maybe ever. Unfortunately, Bellator, the big promotions in the States don't have atom weight divisions, so she had to move up to 115. And and she's had good fights, she's had bad fights, and she's fighting Elise Reed. And I don't know why you would say such a lowest level MMA fight. I don't know. No, that's just not true.
Yeah,
that's all. No.
I mean, Elise is probably one of those fighters that probably got to the UFC a little too soon, if we're being honest. But she did beat Jasmine Jasudavicius, which in August of 2020 was a very impressive win, although I thought Jasmine won that fight. Jillian DeCourcy win aged pretty well, considering what Jillian has gone on to do. I know she lost her last fight. Hillary Rose was on the Contender Series. She beat that ass, and then she debuted up a weight class on like a week's notice against Sajara Eubanks, and that was like a Sarge that was focused and ready to go. Then she beats Corey McKenna, loses to Sam Hughes, beats Super Melly. No, not a lot of people are giving her a chance to beat Super Melly, and she did it. And then she looked pretty good against Loma until Loma turned into a D1 wrestler and choked her out in the second round at 284. So, yeah, I think it'll end up being a fun fight.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a fun one.
It's a fight that makes a lot of sense, and yeah, that's all. Someone said KKF had this is going back a little bit. He had a back injury, so he was out for recovering from a back injury. I knew it was something. I just couldn't remember what it was.
Both these women could be. The stakes are high in this fight too.
Yep.
Both women could be fighting for their jobs here. It's very, very possible.
I believe so.
What's your favorite MMA hat?
You know what mine is?
What?
When everyone was sponsored by Boniassi, and everyone was wearing those purple Boniassi hats. I have one.
That's amazing.
Yeah, actually, I have one, and I have one of the really ugly, horribly ugly. The first generation Reebok UFC, I don't know, Uno card hats. So I have one of those. I put it on once and I looked so dumb. I was like, no, I'm never gonna put this on again. But I'm keeping it for just the historical records. But
That's hilarious.
favorite MMA hat? I mean, you got to go. You got to go Habib, right?
Yeah, probably. Or
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Cowboy.
I mean, that's. I mean, it's
What do we?
Cowboy
What,
hat, but-
I know we're missing a few. There's gonna be some great. Remember Cejudo when he walked out? I think for his fight in Mexico City. You wore like I think Aztec. I'm not sure if it was Aztec, but you wore one of the indigenous tribes type of. I don't know what you call it. Crowns, but yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Faber used to rock some hats that I was like, oh, that looks cool on him.
Oh, Shavkat's. Shavkat's
Shavkat's a good one.
He's moving up there fast.
Maybe Navy Street MMA from Kingdom.
Oh, there you go. Wait, does Shavkat have a fight? Am I forgetting?
No fight.
God, why does that always happen? Like as soon as like these guys like go, oh man, I can't wait to see him. They never get booked. I feel like Shemaev. Oh, we can't wait to see Shemaev, and then like he's just like we used to see him fight like every 30 seconds, and now it's like I don't know, maybe he still fights. Who knows?
You got to get these guys out there fighting. He's gonna have to fight somebody like way behind him because everybody's booked. And Bilal ain't got to take that fight now. Why the hell would he?
I mean, unless like you have to. There's no promises though. It's like, wait, was he guaranteed a title shot? I forget on his last fight.
Who?
Bilal.
That's what they're saying, but there's no guarantee. The having that fight on that card was just the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
it made no sense.
I don't want to bring up those bad memories of that booking, but that was the whole premise. That's what Dana said. The winner.
He said 100%. Yeah, they said 100%. The winner's getting the winner of
Colby,
Edwards, and Colby whenever that fight happens. But it's just so much time. It's like so much can happen between now and whenever that title fight happens, which at this point might not be till like November or December with all these cards filling up. So whatever Jones and Stipe fight on, I would say Colby and Leon will probably be the co-main event so that Connor and Chandler can do their own thing. But I mean, the snow's going to be on the freaking ground up north before those two guys fight for the belt. And that's 7 months Bilal's going to have to wait just to see what happens there. And so much can happen in that time frame. So much, especially if they book Shemaev versus Usman at 170.
My big thing is, so say the UFC doesn't give Bilal the title shot next. Like, what are fans going to do? Like, what?
Nothing.
Like, that's the thing. Like, there's no like, we'll get you back. We're gonna watch more PFL. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's no way.
No.
Like, there's no.
They're gonna say, "Damn, man, I feel bad for him. He probably should have got a title shot." But damn, Khamzat Chimaev is about to fight for the title, or something like that's gonna. Or Conor McGregor's about to fight for the title.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure the UFC won't give a shit if Conor McGregor's about to fight for the welterweight title.
Would the UFC give McGregor a title shot like just at 170?
If he beats Michael Chandler at 170, he's fighting for the belt.
Yeah. Even if obviously if he beats him at 170, a weight class that Chandler's I don't want to get into it. my brain's starting to hate itself already. Sorry.
How would probably great. He probably just needs some time to just figure it out. Give him a year to train, he'd figure it out. He's one of those guys that's probably going to be. He'd find his way to be great at everything. Like if you gave him a year to just learn anything, he'd be great at it. So
his weight though right now, according to Google, is 284 pounds. So we have to
nothing.
So yeah,
easy.
Cut a little weight, make that 266 limit. Oh yeah, we're good.
Oh, he's there.
How tall is he? How tall is he? 6? I mean 7? Is he 7? 7'3".
It's just ridiculous.
Oh man. Oh, bring back Struve. Get you.
No.
No.
Struve can be in his corner or something.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay. Who's that? Yeah, okay. That'd be fun to think about.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh no. His wingspan. Sorry, he's 6'11". His wingspan is 7'3". That's what I'm saying.
But
So
still, that's
yeah.
a 6'11", 265 heavyweight in the UFC would be insanity to actually see with my own eyes.
Yeah, just bring him on Contender Series. Get a good deal.
Let me put on the broadcast and see where we're at. Pudzianowski got knocked out, by the way,
What? You got knocked out?
in the second round.
Second round.
Besides the main event, which fight on this card has some stakes to it? Oh, hey.
Wait. Bring her back. Bring her back. This is Fezzik.
Look at that face.
All she does is sleep all day. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. No,
He's like, nah, dude.
Not
Not on camera.
on camera. Stop it, Dad.
Which fight do you? Which fight has like actual divisional stakes?
Do you see anyone in this card eventually being a top 5 fight? Maybe Karine Silva being eventually not obviously not this fight, but Karine Silva in 3 or 4
She's got
fights.
a high ceiling.
Yeah,
Very high ceiling.
I would say of every fighter on the card, I would give it to Karine. Am I saying it right? Karine Silva as far as being the highest ceiling outside the main event.
Maybe. I don't know. There's really like maybe Elliott Altamirano, just because Victor's relatively new to the promotion. You could probably make a case of this fight we're about to watch, Maxime Grishin versus the 205 Philippe Lins, who's looked pretty good at 205.
How old is it? Oh, he's 37. But,
37. And that's like the big issue with these cards is like we're not saying like these events will be bad to watch because they'll be fine to watch. The fights are like competitively put together, but they just don't matter outside of the main event. Like Jim Miller, God bless him. We want to see him get to UFC 300, but him beating Jesse Butler does nothing. And if Jesse Butler beats Jim Miller, like that's a nice little notch on the old belt. But maybe you know what? Maybe Elizu's maybe Zaleski versus Nurmagomedov has like some kind of a divisional stakes, but more on like the top, like who 15. Could be a top 15 kind of guy. But yeah, nothing where it's like, oh, this dude's gonna fight for the belt sooner rather than later. I just don't really see it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the UFC, no matter what the card, they're well produced. The cameras are in focus. You know, the sound's good. The graphics are on point. So I mean, you're always gonna get a good television show.
Yeah,
you know,
I think we're going to enjoy watching this card. Like, I think at the end of it, we're like, this wasn't bad. Like, there's not going to be a lot of storylines coming out of it outside of the big fight, but like, I think for what we're going to be doing for the next 6 or so hours, I think we're going to be like, yeah, this wasn't a bad way to spend my time.
I like this question.
Does Andre or Jim retire first? Golly, that is a really good question. Oh man, I want to say Andre, but
I'm gonna say Jim because I feel like once Jim's UFC run is done, he'll call it a day. I feel once Andre's UFC run is done, he'll continue fighting overseas, wherever he'll be. I don't know, everywhere. I mean, I think
yeah, maybe.
I think Andre, like, who's the homeboy that just got knocked out? The guy who always did the chokes. I can't remember his name.
Olenek.
Olenek. Yeah, Olenek. Like, kind of like Olenek's now fighting overseas. He just got knocked out by a former UFC heavyweight. I can't remember his name. But I feel Andre is going to... Yeah. So I'm going to go Jim retires first. But how about this? Who is going to last longer in the UFC?
Jim Miller.
Jim Miller?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's a great question. It's a great question. I feel like Jim Miller is like unfireable. I feel like he's going to be on the UFC roster for as long as he wants. Like if he loses like the next 3 or 4 fights, like they're going to get him to UFC 300 and people still are excited about him. I feel like he has a job for as long as he wants it. Arlovsky, I don't know. I'll say Miller, just because if Arlovsky loses like 2 more in a row, I think the UFC will be like, all right, dude, I think we've seen what we need to see here.
Man, credit to Jim Miller. He had a bad run. He got lost to Dustin Poirier, lost to Anthony Pettis, lost to Francisco Tornado, all by decision. Then gets knocked out by Dan Hooker. That was 4 losses in a row, but there was no real talk of cutting him. And then he comes back and beats Alex White. Then gets finished by Charles Oliveira, which looking back now isn't Charles Oliveira. But at the time it was just like, oh geez, another loss by Jim Miller. But yeah, you're right.
One of the only person's like careers you could look at and be like, wow, I can't believe that happened, is probably Andrei Arlovsky. This dude's like had 5 fight losing streaks multiple times in his, like really long, bad losing streaks multiple times in his career. One point, 2016 to 2017, he fought 5 times. He got finished in 4 of 5.
And there were bad knockouts too. They were like on a stretcher.
Yeah, Stipe, Overeem, Josh Barnett choked him unconscious. Francis Ngannou knocked him into the 3rd row, 92 seconds in. Loses a decision to Tybura. Then he wins 2 in a row. Loses a decision to Tai Tuivasa, which, like, I think we should do like a watch along of like Tai Tuivasa actually going to a decision against somebody. Watch him versus Andrei Arlovsky.
Why do I not remember that
and
fight?
Him losing. I don't remember.
Why do I not remember that fight? That went 15.
I don't either.
Imagine Tai fighting for 15 minutes.
I know.
Winning the fight.
I have to watch it.
And winning it too.
I have to see it. I don't remember. That was at UFC 225, Whitaker Romero 2, June of 2018.
I don't remember that. That's so weird.
That'd be a great fight to like just go back and watch along one time and just try to remember it.
When Andre fought Junior Albini, is that the famous Albini wearing diapers?
Was that the diaper fight?
Yeah.
Oh man, now we're going down this crazy rabbit hole. First fight is under. Philippe Lins just rocked Marcin Grissom. It looked like, but now they're crunching up. Do you have bonus predictions? Then we'll do our main card picks, and then we'll get out of here.
Let me bring the card up. Sorry. Bonus predictions. Bonus predictions. Do you think is Miller even in the running for a bonus? Do you think? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go Miller, KKF, and Zeles. Oh, that's only 2. Miller and KKF, and for fight of the night, I am going to give it to the other flyweight fight, Tim Elliott versus Victor Altamirano.
I'm gonna go. The fight of the night's gonna be Alex Caceres, Daniel Pineda. It's not gonna go to the cards or anything, but I think it'll get done in the second. But I think the first round's gonna be insane. Kai Kara France and Karine Silva will get bonuses. I think Karine is gonna get a sub, nice little subby in there. Right. Main card picks. We have 6 main card fights. Golly, I forgot about that. Elise Zaleski versus Abubakar Nurmagomedov. Who you got?
I got Zaleski first round knockout.
Damn. I'm going Nurmagomedov decision. I'm going
one or the other. Yeah.
I'm going Silva first round sub.
I'm going Silva decision.
I have Tim Elliott by decision.
I'm going Tim Elliott decision also.
Jim Miller second round TKO against Jesse Butler.
Oh, I got that too. Miller KO second round.
I got Alex Caceres second round TKO.
I got Caceres by decision, which I didn't do my research. Has Pineda ever lost a decision, or is that
he's lost decisions? He just never won a decision.
Oh, that's what it was. He's never won a decision. Okay, I thought he was one of those guys that wins or loses inside the distance. Okay, so I'm going Caceres decision.
And we're both picking Kai Kara France as a performance bonus, so I assume we're both picking him to get a finish. I'm picking third round TKO for Kai Kara France.
I'm going second round TKO.
Well, there you go. We'll see if a lot of our predictions were pretty much spot on, right around the same page. And looking at the rest of the staffers, at least from what I've seen, we're pretty much on the same page as well. But Philippe Lins and Maxime Gershon are just chucking them. So head on over to ESPN Plus, watch the fights, and then after the main event between KKF and Amir Albazi, you can join us for a post-fight show. It'll be myself. I think Damon Martin's going to join us. Not really sure, but enjoy the fights, everybody. And we'll see you later on. Bye, Casey. Bye, Casey's dog.
Ruff, ruff.